welcome back to Perspective Z, your favorite generational podcast. I'm Katrina.
And I'm Rachel, and boy do we have a lot to talk about today. Happy Spooktober!
Yeah, I know the other episode came out on October 1st, but we were not recording on October 1st, so we did not get to officially welcome you to Spooktober, but now we do.
Now we do, and we're recording early this week, so do you know what day it is?
It's October 3rd.
It is October 3rd. And not only is it October 3rd, but it is Wednesday, October 3rd. So I have to ask, did you wear pink today?
I did not because I don't have a lot of pink and I'm ashamed of myself.
That's okay. I wore gray and blue jeans.
I wore gray too!
For anyone that does not understand the references we are making, I'm assuming you haven't seen Mean Girls, in which case you need to. But October 3rd is, I think it's the only date in, they say out loud. I don't know, the internet just loves it. And a thing in Mean Girls is on Wednesday we wear pink. And, so it just so happened that this year, October 3rd, was on a Wednesday, so...
Yeah.
Definitely Mean Girls. Because I think October 3rd is officially Mean Girls Day, isn't it?
I mean, basically.
If it's not officially, then it is in our hearts.
Yep. So that was something I saw was trending a lot on Twitter. Did you see anything else that was trending a lot on Twitter?
Trending a lot of Twitter. I did see a lot of things trending on Twitter. So one of the things I saw trending on Twitter was the presidential alert, because
oh yes,
the day we are recording this, which again is Wednesday, October 3rd, was the day that the presidential alert test went out at 2:18 Eastern Time, which means it was 1:18 my time and 12:18 your time.
We're good at time zones.
Time zones are very hard. They're confusing, and I still don't entirely get them.
I know, every week you're like, are you an hour or 2 hours behind me?
I'm like, what time are we starting again? Is that my time zone
Just
or
scroll
yours?
up.
Oh, it's all very interesting. But anyway, what were you doing when you got, the text?
I was actually in the middle of a math test.
Oh!
And it was, one of the math tests where the teacher collects all the phones and puts them in the thing on the wall, so, everybody's phones started vibrating and ringing, and, yeah, that was wonderful.
That's interesting. You know, I was in my AP Chem class, and no one's phone went off. We all, were like, oh, we got the presidential alert, but there was no noise.
Huh.
Which is really weird, because, I know my phone was on Do Not Disturb, and I have a Google Pixel, so you can set it to, total silence, so it won't make any noise, even if there is an alert. But I know a lot of my friends have, iPhones and other Android phones, and theirs definitely should have gone off, so I don't know if, what was happening, but we didn't actually get any sound with our alert.
Huh. Me, on the other hand, we got a bunch of sound.
Oh, yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, the kid right next to the phone thing, he, started freaking out, and then, it would go silent for, 2 minutes, and then it would start ringing again. He's like, I don't know whose phone it is. And
yeah, I got 2 alerts, did you? Because I got, the one, and then 2 minutes later I got another one because I closed out of the first one.
I was in the middle of a math test, so I couldn't.
Right.
I just missed it on my smartwatch, though. Oh. And then it didn't buzz me again, so.
See, it's interesting that your teacher collects your phones, but she doesn't collect your smartwatches. Because, but my math teacher last year, collected our phones. They had to go in the caddies, and then if you had any watch that showed anything other than just the time, so Fitbits, Apple Watches, Garmin's, anything, they had to go in the same slot as your phone.
Yeah, my teacher does that too, but it was just a quiz, and it was based on something that you wouldn't have needed a calculator for anyways.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. See, yeah. My school is really strict about test taking, because we had a problem that is called, it's lovingly referred to as the AP Stats scandal, because 2 years ago now, so my freshman year, it was found out that all of the AP Stats students found the tests online because the teacher just pulled them straight from online, and the students found them and were cheating on them. And so now it's a huge, like, they would go to the bathroom during the test so that they could look up answers and then come back. So it's a huge deal in our school right now that, like,
Oh, wow.
you are not allowed to have any technology on you. Phones are in the front of the class, or like, phones are in the caddies, bags are in the, like, in the front of the classroom near the teacher's desk. You aren't allowed to get up during the quiz or test. Like, if you have to go to the bathroom, you gotta finish your test.
Yeah.
It's
That's
wild.
how things are for me, but we didn't have a scandal, obviously. But, yeah, our school is pretty... It's, like, more lenient than... No, it's less lenient than it has been, but now it is. Words.
They're very hard.
Words are hard. This is why we
Speaking of
started a
words,
podcast. Ooh.
should we
segue.
talk about our words of the week? Was that a good segue? I'm working on
Yes,
it.
it was. Good job, Rachel.
Yeah, so we have 3 words of the week this week. And they're all kind of old words, but I know when I first started hearing them, I didn't know what they meant. And I know we have some people over the age of teenagerhood who may not know what these words mean.
Tyler.
You laugh, but he was actually the one that taught me what one of these words mean.
Which one?
Bop. I didn't know what it meant.
Nice.
He and Ethan taught it to me. Anyway. So, our first word of the week is bop. Would you care to define the word bop?
I know we've talked about this on the podcast before when we were discussing music, because music is bops, but, bops are, like, songs that you can bop your head to, or, like, so bop is, like, a song that you can bop your head to, or a bop is, like, a good song. Like, there are a lot of different definitions out there for bop. Like, one is just, it's a good song. I've seen people say a bop is just a good song. Some people have said bops are like songs that you can bop your head to, as I've said 3 times, and we're probably going to edit most of those out.
Yeah, I always heard the definition that it's what you can bop your head alongside with. So that's our first word of the week is bop.
Mm-hmm.
Our second word of the week is OTP, which is not a word but an acronym.
So would you care to define that, Rachel?
You know, that would probably be the smart thing to do. So OTP stands for one true pairing, and that's basically like in a fandom, or sometimes it goes intra or inter. Is it intra or inter?
What?
Okay, so if it's like goes outside of the fandom into another fandom, is that intra fandoms or inter fandoms? I think it's intra.
Okay.
But intra fandom, so like more fandoms cross over, and it's like, oh, this person from this fandom would be good with this person from like Gilmore Girls. I don't know. But basically, your one true pairing would be like one that I think is both of our OTP is like Gabriella Montez and Troy Bolton are OTP.
For sure.
For
Obviously.
sure. An intra, I can't think of any intra fandom OTPs off the top of my head, but
One that I know of that, like, I don't ship, which is how a relationship.
shipping is saying that you think these people would be a cute couple.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily ship them, but I've heard a lot of people ship Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians and Elsa from Frozen.
Oh, that's kind of cute. I don't hate
Yeah.
that. It's not my favorite, but I don't hate it.
Yeah. It's not your OTP.
It's not my OTP. A lot of times when like people in your group of friends start dating, it's like, y'all are the OTP.
That's how my friends are.
Yeah, that's how my friends are too. It's kind of funny. Our final word of the week is stan. And Katrina, would you care to define stan for our lovely listeners?
I would, but I don't really know what it means.
Then I can define stan for our lovely listeners. So from what I understand, if you stan someone, it's like you're
Only
a
the
super
quality
fan,
puns.
I think.
Yeah, super
So
fan.
like when you stan someone, you are like a super fan almost. I don't know what stan is a contraction of, but so like people that there are a lot of Taylor Swift stans, One Direction stans. They're like super fans. They're very over over the top with their love of whatever the creator is. Honestly, like, they're the ones that, like, will defend the creator, like, the artist, even if the artist is wrong and the artist admits they're wrong. But it's like, the stands will be like, no, don't admit fault. I think while we are discussing words, we need to discuss, once again, finna, because apparently we were wrong. Apparently
We were?
Yeah, apparently people were tweeting that apparently finna is fixing to, which is, like, we had the same general definition, but we were wrong with its etymology. Also,
I
was
prefer our
convinced,
etymology,
and
honestly.
I'm still kind of convinced, isn't etymology the study of bugs? Study of bugs. Oh, okay, so the study of bugs is entomology. There's an N.
Oh.
Etymology is the study of words. So, now we know.
Now we know, and now you know. You're welcome.
The more you know. GIF.
Yep.
Anyway, I just feel the need to put out a formal apology about finna and the fact that in my uneducatedness, I got its etymology wrong. Also, its
I think
entomology.
we're still right, honestly. I think that was just
right
somebody's
on the definition.
excuse.
We just weren't right on the etymology.
I think we're right on the etymology. The person that just typed it in wrong just didn't want to admit it, and they were like, "Oh, it's fixing to."
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we're secretly right, but like we'll apologize anyways.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think ours is the most believable. Like, you don't just say fixing to all of it. No.
Unless you're, like, I don't know how people talk in other countries, but, like, I feel like fixing to would be something that...
Also, those letters just... if you look at the spelling of finna, the spelling of gonna, and the spelling of fixing to, it makes the most sense that someone misspelled gonna.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my story. I am sticking to it. I will stick to the entomology of that.
But we'll apologize anyway, just because we're nice people.
We're nice people, and we don't want to scare away any of our listeners. We love you all. So I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Have you done anything new this week?
Like what?
Like, have you tried anything new, or talked to anyone new, or eaten something new, tried new clothes, listened to a new band?
Not really. Have you?
I have. I actually went on air on the radio station for the first time today for my broadcasting class.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It was very terrifying. So we have a basic, like skeleton script that we use for your first few times on air.
Skeleton.
And it's like radio station number, radio station. So you just like say the number, and then you say the letters, and then you say, that was song by artist. You're listening to name, it's time. Up next is song by artist. We'll follow that with weather, or something like that, you know? So the big joke is, or like the in-class joke is, who's going to actually say, because on the script printout it says song by artist, and I'm name, it's time. And my teacher said that at least once a semester, someone will say, we'll say like song, artist, time, or name in place of the actual thing. Luckily, I did not do that.
That's good.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny because the first time I was supposed to go on air, I started talking to the mic, and then like I got done, and she was like, that was good. And the way my teacher does our first time on air is she runs the soundboard for us, and we focus on just like speaking on air. She was like, so that was good, but I couldn't hear you in my headphones. Could you? And I was like, no, I couldn't. And everyone else was like, yeah, I couldn't either. And I was like, solid. So we realized the first time I went on air, the mic was broken.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
So the second time I went on air was the first time I went on air, but she counted both of them as my on-air time for the day.
Sweet.
'Tis it is. Alright, so, now that it is officially Spooktober, and I know we've already talked about this, but Do you have any favorite fall traditions?
See, fall traditions are a little harder because when you say winter traditions, you're like, oh, this is what I do for Christmas. But fall, you're like, this is what I do for Halloween. But I don't necessarily do anything specific for Halloween. But something I do every fall at some point. Usually it's with my youth group. We go to a corn maze.
I love corn mazes.
And yeah, I'm sure they're not as hardcore as they are in your Midwestern state, but
I am in the state of the corn. We took a picture next to a corn statue.
I know we did. And if you want to see that picture, you should check out our Twitter at perspective_z_.
And while you're using your phone or social media device, why don't you hop on over to Instagram and hit up sky_the_pirate, which is SKYE. Yes, real smooth. I'm really good. I'm getting good at plugging her Instagram. Can I tell you?
What?
I plugged her Instagram to a lady at the McDonald's drive-thru.
Tell me the story.
Sure. So we were in the car, and like she has a backseat like cover thing, so it like contains her in the backseat and keeps us both safer. So we were just coming back from the park, and I was like, you know what? I really want a burger. So I stopped at McDonald's to get like just a burger really quickly on my way home. And the lady at the drive-thru is like, "Oh, your dog is so cute. Can I take a picture of her?" And I was like, "Well, if you want to see lots of," because I was like kind of weirded out by the thought of someone taking a picture of my dog while in my car while like asking, it's just kind of like a weird thing to ask. So I was like, well, if you want to see lots of pictures of her, you can head on over to her Instagram at sky_the_pirate. And she was like, your dog has an Instagram? And I was like, my dog has an Instagram.
Nice.
To be fair, I got home and she had a new follower, and I like looked at the person's profile. Person looked similar to the person that helped me at McDonald's.
So, that's how it works.
So, shameless plugging works.
That's really what we should start doing for this podcast.
Probably.
But I don't know how to work it into conversation as much, because dogs you talk about on, like, a daily basis, basically. Yeah. Or at least my friends do.
I talk about my dog constantly.
But, like, talking about podcasts doesn't come up in conversation quite as much. So.
Yeah, it's, although I have noticed, like, if I have friends that, like, will put on their Twitter or something, or just, like, my local hometown friends will be like, hey, any good podcasts to listen to? I'm like, I'll list a few, and then I'll kind of slip ours in the middle.
They'll be like,
well, let's see, this one, Perspective Z, this one, and she's like, oh, cool, thanks. I'm like, you're welcome.
See, I don't feel like a lot of people my age listen to podcasts, which is kind of sad, because podcasts are great.
They are. Actually, I think podcasts are terrible, and the people that run them are just awful, just the worst.
Yeah, especially that one podcast, Perspective Z, those two teenagers.
So annoying. Gosh, why do people even... I'm kidding. I love you all. I love all the listeners. Please continue to listen.
Doing great.
Doing great.
Anyways.
Wow. What were we talking about? Fall traditions?
Yeah.
Corn mazes?
Corn mazes.
Corn is very distracting.
Apparently.
So do you guys do anything other than corn mazes?
We used to carve pumpkins, but we don't usually do that as much anymore because we have homework and more important things to do, and yeah.
I kind of miss carving pumpkins. I haven't done it in a few years, but like, did you ever have a go-to pumpkin carving that you would do, or were you one of the kids that was like, I just want to go random, and you would do like triangle eyes and then weird teeth?
I wouldn't have something every year, but I would have a similar idea every year. Like, there are some people that they're freaking talented, like most people in this world. And they're just like, oh, so I'm just gonna carve my life into this. And I'm like, oh, alright, I can barely carve a normal jack-o'-lantern.
I mean, yeah, same. There was one year I tried to carve my pumpkin coordinated to my costume because it was like a Harry Potter costume. I think it was Hermione like 4 years in a row because I just couldn't think of anything else. But that's neither here nor there. But I can't remember what I tried to do. I think I tried to do the lightning bolt, and even that was too complicated for me. And then there are people drawing like entire landscape scenes on their pumpkins.
And you're like, oh, right, this is why.
I just can't keep up.
Yeah. Speaking of art, my favorite thing of the week has to do with art.
Hey, mine does too!
Wow, we didn't plan that. We actually didn't.
No,
even though it
we
sounds
really
like
didn't.
we're being...
I got home from school and I was like, wow, I don't have a favorite thing. And Katrina got home from school and was like, wow, I don't have a favorite thing. And then we put them in separately.
Yeah, I actually thought of this one a while, not a while, but a little, like, probably right after we recorded last time. I was like, oh, I should have done that. And then I kept it in my head all week, which I'm proud of myself for, because I usually can't keep things in my head very long. Hence why I have a C in math. But, anyways, my favorite thing this week is animation YouTube videos, because I have a few friends that like to send me these videos, and usually they're from channels like The Odd Ones Out or Jaden Animations or stuff like that. And I think they have a really unique way of storytelling, and I'm just inspired by it, and I wish I had artistic talent so I could do it, but I can't, so I just watch all of their videos.
Understandable. Yeah, I think it's really cool watching those animation videos, but it's also, like, not just because it looks cool, can't talk, but also because you kind of, like, start to think about how much time and energy they put into making those videos, and, like, they put into their art, and I'm just like, well, I wish I had energy.
Same.
But my favorite thing this week is similar insofar as, like, it's a creative thing. My favorite thing this week is painting. I'm not good at it, but I found that I really enjoy it.
It's very calming.
It is. When your dog isn't trying to eat all your paint.
Understandable. Well, not understandable because I'm not a dog, and I don't particularly like the taste of paint, but
You know, that's
understandable
probably
that a dog would. Guys, this is my strange addiction.
I used to love that show. There was the guy that, like, ate... It was all things that they ate. There was a guy that ate light bulbs, some girl that ate highlighters.
That just makes me cringe because I can't... No.
Yeah, it just doesn't... if that's your thing,
like, go for it.
You do you, but I will stick to painting. Not eating the paint, just painting.
Yeah. Anyways, went on a little bit of a paint-eating tangent there.
Yes, that we did. Oh my gosh, can I tell you about the experiment we did in chemistry today?
Ooh, tell me.
Okay, so we started out with copper and some other chemical. I don't remember what it was. So it was like a string of copper and then some clear chemical that I can't really remember right now, but I'll remember in like 2 days when I write my lab report kind of thing. So we poured the copper into a beaker, and then we poured this chemical into a beaker. All of a sudden, a bunch of smoke started coming out. So, like, we did it in the fume hood, because apparently the smoke is really, like, toxic and can kill you. So we had to do it under the fume hood, which was fun. But it made a clear blue liquid, which was cool. So then we added, I think it was sodium chlorate? Yeah, I think it was sodium chlorate to the blue liquid, and it started to get, like, chunky. Like, it kind of, think blueberry smoothie was, like, the texture and color of it. So then after it did that, we added water to it, and we stirred it while it boiled on, like, a hot plate, and it turned black. When we took it off, it was, like, separated into clear liquid on top of, like, a black sand. And then
That's interesting.
it was so cool. And then after we did that, we added, well, I added, because my partner was too scared to touch it, hydrochloric acid. And then I kind of accidentally got some on, like, just a drop on my hand, which, as long as you rinse it off right away, you're fine. But my teacher was like, drop the graduated cylinder, go wash your hand. And I was like, okay. Because it was 6 molar, which, I don't know if you know much about moles, but that's, like, strong. So you pour that in, and it turns like a bright green clear liquid.
Wow.
Science is cool.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not going into science, but I like the experiments and the reactions and the...
Me too. I wish I could just, like, sit in class and do that all day, you know?
Mhm.
So, have you checked out YouTube lately?
I have not, but I know you have.
You're right, I have. Something that I noticed was the #1 trending that I am very, very, very excited about is the new Spider-Verse trailer.
I've seen stuff about it, but I'm not familiar with what it is. So could you explain that to me, and maybe some listeners that are like me and uncultured in the Spider-Versity of life?
Sure. So the Spider-Verse is just like the next installation in the Marvel universe, the MCU, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so this movie comes, I don't know where it falls on the timeline from, like, Infinity War. That's the word I was looking for. I don't know where it falls on that timeline, but I do know that it is the next in, like it comes after Spider-Man Homecoming. And for anyone wondering, Spider-Man is, like, one of my top Marvel superheroes. He was, like, the superhero that got me into superheroes, because he was, like, a quirky, nerdy science teenager that was, like, in high school, and I don't know, I just felt like I related to him, minus the whole being bit by a radioactive spider and turned into a superhero thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Also Tom Holland. Need I say more?
Yeah. But the Spider-Verse, like the new Spider-Verse movie that is coming out, will be, Tom Holland I don't think is actually in this one, because it's like kind of a combination of all of the Spider-Man movie, like all of the Spider worlds. So there are a few different ones. There's like the Amazing Spider-Man, there's the comics, there's the like cartoons, there's like there are all sorts of just Spider-Man movies, and so I think this is kind of the merging of them. But I am very excited about it because I'm excited for any Spider-Man movie. I'm excited.
See, we said we had a lot to talk about today, but now we have like 30 minutes of recording and we've gone on basically everything in our list.
I have a question for you.
What's your question?
When did it become... So I saw this on Twitter, and it wasn't directed at us, but I want to answer it anyway. When did it become a thing to put spooky or, like, make your Twitter handle Halloweeny? Halloweeny. Halloweeny.
I, too, saw this tweet. And, I think it comes around every year, but people just forget about it. They're like, oh, this hasn't ever happened before, even though I've seen it every year since I joined Twitter.
Really? I have never noticed it before.
Huh. Well, I also follow a lot of Halloween enthusiasts. So, yeah.
That's fair, that's fair. I need a more creative one for mine, because I just put, like, Rachel Bartholomew with 2 ghosts behind it. But that's not very spooky.
I changed mine.
I saw yours. I loved it. And again, we will link our Twitter handles in the description, so y'all can go check us out and be filled in on our oh-so-insightful our tweets. Because, you know, I think there are some hidden gems in there.
Yeah. So just scroll back all the way. Please don't, actually.
That sounds terrifying.
Some of my tweets in the past have been very cringy, because when I got Twitter, I was 13, and 13 was a while ago for me, even though it was like 2 years. But Oh, I didn't say my Twitter name. I just said that it was, something spooky. But mine is Katrina, but a little more dead inside.
With a ghost, right? Doesn't it have a ghost?
Yep, with a ghost.
Yeah. Mine is just Rachel Bartholomew Ghost. I guess it could be like Rachel Bartholomew.
That'd be adorable.
That's cute. I think that's cute.
And then have the ghosts.
Yeah, of course the ghosts. Okay, so in line with Twitter, I am on the podcast Twitter right now, which I will also leave in the description below for y'all to go listen to. But I have a question from your mom again. Nyam, 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 nyam. I have a question from your mom again at Melmic222, and she says, got caught up last night, so do you like spooky things, Spooktober, or scary things? How do you feel about Scooby-Doo? I am definitely like a spooky person.
Yeah. I don't like scary movies. I'm a very fragile Hufflepuff person, marshmallow thing.
Y'all can't see this right now, but like Katrina's just sinking into her chair, kind of hiding under her desk. Like, I'm just a fragile marshmallow. It's great. It's fine. It's all fine. How do you feel about Scooby-Doo?
The thing is she's asking this question, but the age where everybody got, like, super into Scooby-Doo, my parents were, like, not letting me watch Scooby-Doo because they were, like, super, like, they were like, oh, we don't want you to have nightmares because of the scariness of it. And I'm like, okay. But, so I never actually, like, I would watch it in elementary school when we had indoor recess because it was, like, snowing or whatever. But besides that, I didn't really watch it a ton.
See, I watched it a lot. It was like, we just had, you know how every family has that, like, DVD or, like, set of DVDs that you watch all the time? My family's was Scooby-Doo. So I fell in love with Scooby-Doo. It scared me, even though I knew the ending every time, and I knew the bad guy would get revealed, because, like, I would sit down to watch it, and be like, I know there's gonna be a bad guy. I don't know what it is. It was scary. I know exactly how it's gonna end, but I'm scared. Spoopy. In line with that question, though, I have a question for you. What was your favorite, like, childhood TV show?
That's a very interesting question. Because I, unlike a lot of kids, did not have cable growing up. So I was stuck with, like, PBS Kids and Cubo, unlike other kids that had Disney Channel or whatever. But I did somehow get immersed into Hannah Montana, and I'm still, like, high-key involved in that. But I also, like, my favorite PBS Kids show was Super Y.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. I remember Super Y. I, like, wasn't he was, like, teaching kids to read, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Y, the power to read.
My favorite, like, kid shows, well, this one wasn't really popular. It was, like, just starting right as we were getting too old for PBS, but I really liked, Dinosaur Train.
I love Dinosaur Train!
Another one that I liked was Big Comfy Couch.
I don't think I know what that is.
It was, basically the premise was, like, this girl read bedtime stories and had adventures inside of her big comfy couch. It was weird. Oh. Like, looking back on it, it's a super creepy show, but I loved it.
Did you ever, like, read or watch Charlie and Lola?
Yes, I loved Charlie and Lola.
Me too. Like, I always forget that it exists, but then, like, whenever somebody's like, oh, remember Charlie and Lola? I'm like, dude, that was my jam.
Charlie and Lola. Didn't they all have British accents for some reason?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello, Charlie.
Hello, Charlie. And I'm sorry to any Europeans that are listening and just cringing. Although I did notice on whatever episode it was that I was talking about my dog's British accent, there was a European that commented something along the lines of, oh, just go for it, I want to hear. So, That is my attempt at a British accent. It's something.
Yeah. But Charlie and Lola, I would always go to their website, and they had this maze game.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is that website still available? Because if so, we're gonna link it in the description, and y'all can tell us how good you are at the maze game.
So I have another website that I used a lot. Did you ever use Funbrain?
Oh my goodness gracious, heck yes.
Funbrain was honestly, that was like my go-to website. I wonder if that's still around.
I think it is. I think they revamped it though, so that was also connected to Pop Tropica, which is still freaking amazing. So
you want to hear something funny though? My cousin's name is Brian, and I used to think it was Fun Brian. And so I would type it in, and it would never take me to the site, and I would get so sad. And yeah, they definitely revamped it. You can still kind of play the classic games, but they're not as easy to find, I don't think.
Yeah.
And it's now considered the pre-K and kindergarten playground, which is where we played all of our games, which is a little...
Oh no, they revamped the Charlie and Lola website. Well, they didn't revamp it, they took everything away.
That's sad.
That's depressing. I want to play the maze game.
What website was it that you would oh goodness, this is gonna bug me till the day I die.
What?
But it was, I thought it was Funbrain, but you had to
Wait, I found it! Okay, we're putting this in the description. Sorry.
Alright.
Continue.
I thought it was Funbrain, but you tried to go along along a game board kind of, and you had you would roll different things, which are...
That is Funbrain. They had a different section for it.
Okay, then they don't have it anymore, which is sad.
Wait, they don't?
Mm-mm.
Fight me, Funbrain.
Anyway, now I'm curious what, this question specifically for all y'all listening, what games did you, if you are a Gen Zer or later and you played website games, what were your favorite websites? Tweet us what they were if they're still around. We want to go play on them. Be 5-year-olds again.
Yeah.
And if you weren't,
what were your favorites?
Yes.
Rachel?
And if you were not didn't have a computer with internet growing up because you are over the age of 16, what games did you do? What did you do for entertainment? And I also want to know, what TV shows did you like growing up?
Rachel, I know we mentioned a lot of websites, but I think you're missing one very important one.
Is it, Club Penguin? Webkins.
Webkins, yes. Okay. That's what I was going for. Club Penguin is also good, but Webkins is what I was going for.
Oh, okay.
Because I was certain. Yeah.
Webkins? Okay, here's my problem with Webkins now, though. You have to pay for everything to do anything.
I know.
So it's you want to feed your pet? Sorry, only deluxe members can do that. You want to play any game? Sorry, only deluxe members can do that. You want to leave your house? Sorry, only deluxe members can do that. You want to log into your account? Sorry, only deluxe members can do that. It's I think you're going a little over. I think why they started doing that, though, is people stopped buying the stuffed animals. So they were losing revenue, so they thought the only way to keep up the company would be to...
However, you are exaggerating a bit. You can still log into your account.
Oh yeah, you can still log into your account. I don't know if y'all have noticed. I'm a wee bit dramatic.
A lot of it.
Yes, my dog and I went on a walk today, and we didn't honestly even go on that long of a walk. It was only 20 minutes, and normally her walks are 15 minutes when I get home from school, so I was really shocked we got home and she was just exhausted. But I realized it's because it was 20 degrees warmer today than it has been any other day this week. So I think she was it was too hot for her.
That's the opposite of how things are here. It's starting to get a little bit chilly, starting to get a little bit spoopy, a little bit fall-y, sort of.
Spoopy.
So.
Yeah, that's how it was the past few days here. I wore my first fall sweater. I also wore my second fall sweater. And then all of a sudden, the weather was that's a good joke. And today, the high was 85.
Wow.
Yeah.
Our low today was like 60 something.
What was your high though?
Like 80 something. As you can tell, I pay attention to the weather.
I had to pay attention to the weather because you know how many times I had to say the weather when I was on air? Twice.
How many?
I had to say it twice.
Nice.
Shouldn't have woken up my dog. She is now being a dingus behind me.
I can tell. Hi, Sky.
She's like, I want to be in the podcast. Well, Sky, if you want to be in the podcast, go ahead on over to @Sky_the_pirate. I don't know where that plug was going. I just wanted to plug my dog.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
What's your question?
So, as we are moving into a new season, I know that a lot of people go shopping for the new clothes, get new clothing. Are you laughing at the fact of my dog in the background?
She just yawned and it was adorable.
Telling y'all, my dog is adorable. You should go follow her. Anyway, as we're turning to the new season, people are going shopping, which means it is time for the DIY YouTubers to upload their haul videos. And I want to know, do you know the point behind those, or do you find them entertaining?
I don't necessarily find that, I don't necessarily know the purpose of them. I do sometimes find them entertaining. It depends on the person. Like, if people are doing hauls and they're just like, okay, this is what I got. But, if they tell stories behind them, if they, tell stories why they bought them, they have backstory, or they just have high energy, then I don't find them as boring.
That's fair. I just, personally, I don't get it. I'm the same way with, Christmas or your birthday. I don't understand the point of, posting, okay, so I got this and this and this and this. I don't know. I just didn't know if it was because I am a terrible Gen Zer or if you also felt this way.
Oh, I, for sure about birthdays and Christmas. I'll do that with my friends if they ask, but not, hey, everybody.
Welcome back to my channel.
Hey, this is what my family got me for Christmas. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I just think it's always kind of weird. No shade to you if you, do this. I just personally don't get it.
Yeah, same.
You know what I do get, though?
What?
Tea.
Yep.
I consume a lot of tea. But I consume, the same 3 or 4 varieties of tea. And I want y'all to tweet us, is there a new tea I should try? And before your dad tries to come tweet the podcast, I already ordered the Super Carlin Brothers coffee tea. Not coffee tea. Carlin Brothers coffee. Carlin Brothers coffee tea. Is it?
Yeah. The tea from Carlin Brothers coffee.
There you go. But, are you a tea drinker?
I, not on the regular because it's too much work.
Did you just say not on the regular?
Maybe I did, Rachel.
Anyway.
Not regularly, but, I drink it a lot more if I'm sick or if I have a sore throat. So.
I guess that's fair.
I want a boop.
You want a boop? You know what she's learning? She's actually... We're calling it touch, but give a boop. Give Katrina a boop. There you go. She's learning in class how to do something called touch, which is how she boops my hand. So, she went out in the muddy, because it has been raining here non-stop lately. So she went out into the muddy rain and gave herself a ton of new spots.
Fun.
Yeah, she needs a bath. I smell fine. I do not need a bath. The dog needs a bath. But,
I didn't say
even her
anything
nails
about
are just kind of coated in mud.
Yeah.
You know what we haven't talked about yet?
What?
Our favorite songs of the week.
What's your favorite song of the week, Rachel?
My favorite song of the week is called Hurt Somebody, and I don't know if I've done this one before, and if I have, I don't care. But it's just I listen to some interesting music. This one came up in my Discover Weekly because I used to listen to a lot, and then I stopped, and Spotify was like, did you forget about this song? And I was like, you know what, you're right, I did. So Hurt Somebody is by Noah something or other. It's by Noah Kahan. But the basic premise of that song is just hurting people hurts, so don't do it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song of the week?
That is what I am opening Spotify to figure out. You can tell I'm prepared. We did this right after school, so you can't judge me for it.
I probably will judge you.
I know you will.
Sky, you can't eat my calculus textbook. I would love if you did. Then I wouldn't have to do my calculus homework, but then I'd have to pay for a new calculus book.
That's a mood.
You're just covered in mud, aren't you? Yeah, you need a bath. I'll give you a bath.
My favorite song this week is Roundtable Rival by Lindsey Stirling.
I have never heard that.
But because it doesn't have any lyrics.
Oh.
It's just instrumental. But Lindsey Stirling is an amazing violinist, and she was one of the main inspirations for me to start playing the violin.
Oh, you play the violin.
Yeah.
We've had this exact conversation before. I believe Lindsey Stirling was the reason we had the conversation.
Yeah, but the thing that makes her stand out is she dances while playing her violin, which requires a lot of coordination, and I have tried, believe me, and yeah.
Did you know I actually used to dance?
For real?
Yeah, I used to be, I started with hip-hop, and then the studio instructor was like, well, if you want to stay good in hip-hop, you gotta take tap. And I was like, okay, so I did a few years in tap, and then she was like, well, if you want to be good in tap, you have to take ballet. And I was like, okay, makes sense. So I took ballet, and then I took something called PIM, which was, specific to that studio, People in Motion. It was, a lyrical hip-hop mashup kind of class. It was definitely an interesting class, but I took that for a few years. I think I did 4 or 5 years of dance before I realized I'm really just not good at it.
Wow. I did not know this about you.
I know. There are probably a lot of things you don't know about me. For example, I also used to play softball.
I did know that about you.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Until, I think 5th grade was when I decided I hated it so much. But do you blame me? I mean, sports and exercise.
What?
Exactly.
But also I get winded walking between buildings, so I should probably work on that. But, I'm trying to think of things you don't know about me.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
I knew that. What's your favorite dog Instagram account?
Sky_the_pirate. Sky is SKYE.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm kidding, I definitely knew that. I would have hung up the call and just stopped the recording if it wasn't. It's actually, it's Doug the Pug.
Your dog's Instagram's the only dog Instagram I follow, so
she feels honored.
She should be. I do follow a lot of dog Twitter accounts though, but Sky doesn't have a Twitter account.
No, my dog doesn't have a Twitter account. That wouldn't make any sense. Is there really? There has gotta be something that I don't know about you.
I mean, apparently you don't know what time zone I live in, or that I play the violin.
I have figured out that you play the violin. To be fair, I also got, I also, didn't know you had a brother, or his name, until you came to visit me with your brother.
Yeah, you're like, hey, what's your brother's name? And I'm like,
keep going, keep talking.
My brother's name?
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, your brother. Okay. I just went to pull my dog away from chewing on something she wasn't supposed to be chewing on. There's orange paint on my floor from her chewing up my bottle of paint. Thanks, dog. There's gotta be something.
Yeah. Did you know I like Harry Potter?
You like Harry Potter? I mean, there is one thing that I don't know about you.
What? I'm intrigued. What are you pulling up?
One thing that I don't know about you is which Mean Girls character you are actually.
Actually.
So now it is time for our favorite segment on this podcast. It's time to take a Buzzfeed quiz.
Sweet.
So this one is the wrong one.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that
We're not
Mean
eating
Girls
a
has
taco meal
any.
and revealing our Disney vacation.
I was like, I don't think Mean Girls has anything to do with your dream Spanish vacation. But
You would be wrong. That's all I want in life. Okay. Now that we have the right
there we
quiz.
go.
Are you more of a Caddy, Heron, or Regina George? Can we just touch on the fact, like, who would name their kid Regina?
I mean, honestly, I can see someone naming their kid Regina more than naming their child Caddy, so...
The first question is, pick something pink to wear on Wednesday. Your options are, like, a pink skin, like, bodycon dress, an oversized pink t-shirt, a pink plaid pantsuit with a skirt, a pink bomber jacket, a pink nice cute little dress, like a sundress, a pink Nike hoodie, a pink sweater, a pink polo with like black stripes, or a pink floral patterned shirt. I have a very easy answer to this one.
I have mine. I don't think they're the same.
I don't think they are either. I picked the pink Nike hoodie.
Oh, I picked the pink jacket, like the one on
The bomber jacket?
No, the middle left. This one is pick a word. Fetch, gruel, crack, or duh.
Duh.
Yeah.
Just like, it has to be duh. Duh.
Duh.
Yeah. Pick a food to make out with. A hot dog, butter, a taco, or nacho fries? And because it does matter, it's a hard shell taco.
Yeah. Do you have yours?
Yeah, I picked a taco.
I picked a hot dog. Okay, this one is pick a Halloween costume. This is like a jump suit, like a skin tight black secret agent kind of thing. Or a zombie football player, the Queen of Hearts, a tuxedo miniskirt, a actual zombie, a witch, a
Cute cat? Cute mouse?
cute mouse, cute cat, something, a pirate, or a checkerboard.
To be fair, I think the one in the middle is not an actual zombie, but Bride of Frankenstein.
Okay, I cannot tell. So we're gonna go with...
Seeing as I go to Hogwarts, I picked the witch.
Me too.
Okay. Pick a Christmas song.
Oh, heck yes.
All I Want for Christmas Is You, Jingle Bell Rock, Drummer Boy, White Christmas, Last Christmas, or Santa Baby.
I picked mine.
I did as well. I said Last
What did you
Christmas.
pick? I said All I Want for Christmas Is You.
I have a question for you. When is it acceptable to start listening to Christmas music?
Always.
Okay, good. That's the correct answer. I'm gonna wish you
Okay.
good luck on this question.
I do not know half of these people's names. I wish they had the names so I wouldn't look awkward.
How about for
it
this
says
one,
pick the...
y'all can just go look at the quiz yourself.
Yeah, so this one is pick the British man you most look like.
In our defense, it's like British men. It's not
And
us. Or like us
I
as
only
in
know...
US.
Yeah, I only know two of them, and one is the king, or prince, whatever, Prince Harry, I don't know. Whoever the prince is that got married, him.
Good job.
And then one is Harry Styles, so...
One is Harry Styles, one is Prince Harry?
I don't know. Rachel, which one do you think I look most like? Because I cannot decide.
I would say middle left.
I'll take that as a compliment.
I mean, I picked top right.
You don't have a beard, Rachel.
I don't think having a beard is an important part of looking like someone.
Hair.
And our final question.
Anyways.
How do you style your hair? Push back or full of secrets? Push back.
I said full of secrets.
Alright, who'd you get?
Because mine is... I got Glen Coco. 4 for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco.
I got Aaron Samuels. You're friendly and outgoing. You try to see the good in everyone, which can sometimes backfire and wind up hurting you. You look sexy with your hair pushed back.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm fine with being Aaron Samuels. I mean, it is October 3rd. But, unfortunately, it is a school night, which means we've got to wrap up this week's a little bit early.
Yep.
But make sure you join us next week, where we'll have our very, very first Perspective Z guest at Pepper May 22. Heather, who goes by Pepper, will be coming onto the show to give her thoughts and opinions on Generation Z, I guess?
Asking us questions, talking about life with us.
Yes.
Don't really know what we're going to be doing, but I guess we'll find out next week.
It is going to be an amazing episode, and you should all tune in and listen.
Mm-hmm. This has been another episode of Perspective Z. That's been Rachel.
And that's been Katrina. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.